Hi, everybody. My name's Buzz.
I'm Linnea.
I'm Samantha.
I'm Amy.
We are the LDS Singles Anonymous. Cue music.
So today we're going to do another episode in our series of fears of commitment.
So basically, the idea was that everyone's like, oh, you guys are just afraid to commit. And that's probably real. I feel that. I'm definitely afraid of that. Why is it that we are afraid of committing? So what's our topic for this week?
So today our fear is fear of making the wrong choice.
Wow.
That's a rough one.
That really resonates
That's probably the top of my list. I think of all the fears, I've chosen the wrong one, and I can't do it again. I am sitting on the outskirts because I am not willing to lose that bat again. So, yeah. Guilty!
That's absolutely it. I mean, there's a lot of perfectionism in it as well. Like, I haven't chosen wrong as drastically as you have, but I still
I can't
have...
think of 3 humans in the history of the planet that chose wrong as drastically as I have.
Oh, but I still have a perfectionism in me that I'm like, is this the right person? I think there are definitely different aspects of it, but like, is this the right person for me? In that, is this the person God chose for me? That's one aspect I think of it as well that I feel is the perfectionism part. Is this the right person?
You know what's funny is I had that exact same fear, and this might sound like a really weird story, but
Please tell.
I was in the shower, and
Great thinking,
I
please.
was thinking about my future children. It was a weird shower. Anyway, I was like, oh, like, I hope my little girl has like brown hair and stuff. And I'm just like, well, maybe she'll only have brown hair if I marry someone else with like brown hair. And then I started like going on this really long, like, tangled web of a mess in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, do I need to marry a specific like face structure and eyes and hair and everything? And it was like the spirit hit me in the face and was just like, you could marry any race on this freaking planet. Those spirits are going to come to you no matter what. If you're supposed to be a mom and you're supposed to have these children, they are going to come to you no matter what the body looks like, because that's the choice you made. But the outside doesn't have anything to do with the inside.
Well,
really
and
beautiful.
quick little tangent. We give way too much to other people because they won the genetic lottery. Be it, we give them freedom, we give them our devotion, we give them our money, we give them, if you get somebody that won the genetic lottery, whoa, they can get away with murder.
Literally.
Or,
Literally.
yeah, that's true sometimes.
We've seen that.
Yep.
But, we give all this devotion to someone because they're beautiful. Well, what about not only the spirit, but what about the things that they have developed in themselves? The talents they came with, the talents that they developed, all the things that they developed that they wanted inside their soul that didn't naturally come. Why is it that we as single people love to find someone that's that way for all the things that they didn't change or didn't develop or guys are probably the most guilty of that. We want a 6-foot-tall, red-headed volleyball player. Every one of us does. There's only like 10 of those in the entire world. And we all want the same thing. But who cares? who knows what's going to happen in the resurrection? Who knows what's going to happen in 10 years? Is somebody going to gain weight? Somebody going to lose weight, lose their hair, gain hair? All of these things. And when we get old, our bodies
Everything
just fail.
changes.
We grow hair where we don't want to, and we won't grow it where we do want to, and we get big where we want to be small, and small where we want to be. It's just ridiculous. So, how much weight should we really put on that?
Exactly.
Well, I think it changes as you get older or as you have experiences.
Oh.
Because, when you're 18, like, you just...
Right.
How much are you thinking about, well, I just hope that, like, he's really resilient so that when life is hard, right, he's always there for me. You're like, he's cute,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But if you pick the cute guy, then your kids should be cute too, right? So,
For
I'm
the
gonna
children.
be honest, that's the thing. I'm 5'4", so finding a guy that's taller than me, it's not that hard. The only reason I feel like I would want him to be, like, tall is just, it's for the children. It's not actually
fair
for me.
enough.
It is. It's really.
But
I want to give them the chance to be taller.
what's hilarious though is that's another fear I have of choosing the wrong person is because I'm afraid of messing up the family picture. That's a serious concern. Like I'm the youngest. So far beautiful in-laws, beautiful grandchildren, and I'm just like, I'm gonna be the one to mess it up. It's gonna be me. Like,
a lot of pressure to have.
So I'm just like,
is a
there's
lot.
so many pretty people in my family. Like, am I the one to mess it up?
That's an interesting thing that I didn't really think about. We're afraid of choosing wrong. There's so many aspects that go into that.
Yes.
I'm
A
afraid
lot
that my
more.
family pictures won't look good enough.
Right? And my mom's like, we have multiple races in our family, but we are missing a couple. So if you just want to add those in, we'll be perfectly fine with that. And I'm like, thank you for giving your permission to allow me to have variety. Thank you.
Mothers.
Love that.
So funny. But those are interesting fears. I didn't really think about those. That's really funny. I think other ones that maybe I have, I don't know if anyone else, I don't have a ton of experience in having serious relationships, long-term relationships. And so I think I would be afraid of missing some red flags because I would be like, well, he goes to the temple and he has the priesthood and he has a job, and there could be so many other red flags that I miss, but I am focused on the checklist things, or maybe I think he's cute or something. I'm focusing on the wrong things and I miss the other aspects because I wouldn't know how to recognize
Right.
them.
Well, you have friends and you have family. Don't rush into it. Take a nice little, not necessarily a break, but let things slow down. And when they're done slowing down, then you can actually come to your friends with an open mind. Because when you're full on dating, progressing, it's really hard to listen to them. Get back into a spot where you can get back and say to your friends, okay, I need your real opinion on this guy. They will pick up on red flags that you never have. Then go
a
to
good
your
point.
family. Parents, maybe a little. Siblings, usually, especially married siblings, they're like, yeah, no. And say, I need you to find the negatives about this guy. And it's not a thing where I'm going to hold it against you in 10 years. Just, I need to see the full picture, because you got to marry the full picture, even though they're trying to show you the highlight reel, In dating, they show you the highlight reel. Well, I got to see the whole picture because I need to know that,
What you're getting into.
right.
And I
That's
think
a
there's
good one.
always the fear that maybe he's great now, and in 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, I'm going to realize that, or he's going to change, and maybe that person isn't a person that's a good fit for me, and that's scary.
And I think you're completely right in that. I think we want to protect ourselves from that because we've seen too many divorces where somebody just woke up one morning and changed.
Yeah.
That's the one you can't. That's the one that if you hold back because you're afraid of that one, you're holding back from life.
Yeah.
You got to let it happen, and unfortunately, they have choices, and they can choose to wake up one day and go, I'm not going to church ever again. I'm, whatever. I'm going to start this or that, and it can be disastrous, but that's one we can't hold back because of. Okay, so just as an asterisk to that, you are going to become the 5 people you spend your most time with. So figure out what you want to be and find someone that has that. The things you want to watch for me, as an old dude that's seen way too much, watch for negative people. Watch for people that find the fault in others. Run from them. Watch it, and hopefully they're going to grow out of that, and hopefully they're going to mature out of that. You can't risk poisoning your future by becoming that, because criticism is an addiction. And it's a big addiction. It's as bad as the worst drug. You watch people that criticize. I mean, turn on the television. We don't do politics anymore. We just criticize the other politicians. We can't tell you this is the plan to make things better. It's like, they're doing this wrong. They're doing this wrong. Well, it's the same thing. And when you find fault with humans and it becomes your life, and if it becomes your relationship, ooh. So find the things you want in yourself and find that in other people. You want positivity. You want people that find the good in other people. You want to find people that want to build a better world. In the back of your mind, when you're looking, there are people out there that have those abilities, really, to do the things that you want to see in your life. And whether you're going to be friends with those people because they're sitting around your table with you, or whether you want to be in a relationship, that's one keep in your pocket, because it'll pay dividends in the end.
And sometimes I wonder, though, that I'll think about those things, but I'm not always sure what that looks like. There are times when I've been like, oh, well, like, I want these qualities in a person, and I was like, and it looks like this. And then I meet someone and I go out with them and I'm like, actually, like, they have that quality. It just doesn't look like the actions that I thought it looked like.
So maybe not being able to recognize what you want.
I think I know what I want.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I necessarily know what that looks like in a real person, because people are not, well, they have this quality and they have this one and they do this and they do that. People are complicated. Sometimes combinations of those qualities manifest differently. Yeah.
And we all have preconceived ideas on what the perfect person's going to be. The one thing that scares me really bad is I find a lot of people that have built up Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or Miss Right, whichever, and they build this person up, and they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do this, and then they meet me and they cut my face out and post that right on there and go, that's exactly who he is. Like, you didn't learn me. You just put me in this, okay, now be the perfect guy, like you say, filling the area. Just just shut up and get in here and fill that spot for me. So maybe they have the qualities, but they're not looking quite the way we've set it up.
Exactly.
Because Mr. Right has these arms and these legs and this job and this car and this, and Miss Right over here. So,
looks
And then you're
different.
disappointed when they don't turn out to be the person that you painted a picture of them being.
It's disastrous when you've built somebody up to be the perfect guy and then you just paste their face on them, or the perfect girl and paste their face, because, oh wow, she's got a lot more personality than I thought, and she's going to tell me no when I say this and that.
I feel like that happens to me a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like you didn't take the time to get
Right.
to know me, so
Right.
you, like, obviously this is a surprise.
Right. Well, and this leads us into our next fear, is choosing the wrong one.
Yeah.
And if we learn the person and we're open-minded about who they are and what they stand for and what they believe and what they do and da-da-da-da-da, now we're learning the person, not the idea that I have of the perfect thing. And because I think sometimes we say, I have the fear of not picking the perfect one, or I picked one and I found out it's not the right one. So I think that keeps us from a lot of commitment.
I think that also the idea of eternity is very scary. And so, I mean, if it was like, if we were more comfortable with like, oh, if it doesn't work out, like we can end things, we can move on with our lives, I can start over again. But because we're so like, this is it, this is my one shot, we gotta get married, and then I have to stick with this person not only for the rest of my life, but for the one after it, forever. And that is a very long time.
So I think the best thing for us in this stage of life is to make sure that we have friends and create a community that we feel safe and secure in, with people that know us and love us. That way, whether we do get over that fear and we make that commitment, and whether it does or does not work out, we still have those friends and connections and that love no matter what. Because whether it does or doesn't work out, you'll still have those friends, the community to rely on. And that's what's important.
Yeah, the single scene is not going anywhere. Not going to wake up tomorrow and everybody's going to be married and out of it. We have to create it. We have to create a group, whether it's local, whether it's over the internet, whether it's in this podcast. We need to have a group of people that understand what it is to be single, what it is to be single in the church, the issues that we're going through. Just to feel accepted, to be able to bounce ideas off of, to have a really tough day when someone says something really stupid from the pulpit, and come home and be with people that understand and can say, oh man, I'm sorry they said that. But yeah, it's about community. It's about creating a single scene, a singles community that's strong, and understanding that we're not broken. We're whole. We need to be better whole than we are today, and we need to continue to progress. But we're not broken just because we don't have a ring on our finger.
We hope to be part of that community. That's really why we started this. We wanted to build a community. So join us. Comment below what other fears you have, or if you have felt this way. We wanna hear from you.
And we know our email is a little long and obscure, but send us an email. We can receive larger emails than just the comments that we see on the bottom of the YouTube videos. But send us an email. Let us know who you are, where you're at physically, like location, and where you're at in life. Because, yeah, we want this community to be stronger and bigger. And accepting.
We accept you, wherever you're at. Thanks for watching. This is LDS Singles Anonymous.